Welcome back to Mock the Mock, where I take a look at someone else's mock draft and I'm mocking, giving you my views, thoughts, and opinions. Got a good one for you today as we're checking out CBS's own Chris Trapasso and his mock draft. And I picked it for a specific reason. But what's crack-a-lackin'? It's your boy Broshmo, just in case you did not know so. Go ahead, become bro and subscribe. Leave this video a thumbs up if you enjoy the content. As always, let me know what you think in the comment section below, where we had that nice a beautiful football discourse. Now, big reason I picked this one is because I saw that it had a trade at 1. Now, full disclosure, haven't looked at the draft yet. All I know is they traded the first overall pick, and I figure some of y'all may be a little worn out of seeing the Bears with the first 2 selections. So we got a trade here. The Patriots are actually trading to 1, and the Bears get the 5th overall pick. They get their 2nd. They get their 3rd. They get a first rounder in next year's class and Christian Barmore. That's actually kind of a big one for the interior there. So big get for the Bears. I mean, they basically get extra picks in the 2024 class, and they get a first rounder in the 2025 along with Christian Barmore, who's been really good for the Patriots. So let's go ahead, get this sucker started with the Patriots taking Caleb Williams first overall. And I kind of like this because I'm kind of putting 2 and 2 together and thinking, oh, Brian or Bill O'Brien, he was pretty good with Deshaun Watson. Why not get Caleb Williams, who's got some comparisons to Deshaun Watson? So I actually like that pairing quite a bit. It's something new, something we haven't, or at least I haven't seen in mocks recently. So awesome. Mac Jones, he's been bad this year. I know all the parts around him have been bad, but he hasn't been good either. And it might be time to kind of pull the trigger on just going in a different direction. At number 2, we actually do have the Bears. Okay, for a minute I thought it was the Broncos, but they go Marvin Harrison Jr. I really like the idea of pairing him up with DJ Moore. So we will see them pick again at 5. I mean, we could kind of guess where they may go at 5. They could go defense, so like edge, depending on where the tackles go, or I think tackle. I think tackle is the most likely right now. But let's keep it moving. Denver picking at 3. Olu Fashanu, so already one of those tackles now officially off the board. I do think Brian or Garrett Bowles will be a part of this Sean Payton fire sale that I think is about to happen, whether it's prior to the trade deadline or if it's in the off season. I think he's going to be a part of that along with Cortland Sutton. We've already seen them ditch Randy Gregory. We've seen them, they actually just released yesterday Frank Clark, though that's not a big one. But yeah, Olu Fashanu, man, I think he is probably going to be the unanimous OT1 as of right now. I feel like he's just been a bit more consistent, considering Alt kind of like Alt had a down game against Louisville, but I expect him to bounce back. He's got USC this weekend. At number 4, Minnesota Vikings take Drake Maye. I really love the idea of the Vikings being able to get quarterback 2 in this class. Good on them. Drake May's been fantastic. I think I said it like a week ago that I feel like that Drake Maye is closer to QB3 than he is to Caleb Williams. You know, I might be kind of backtracking a little bit on that. He had a very impressive game against Syracuse. He'll get Miami, and that's a team with all kinds of talent everywhere, especially defensively. So let's see how he handles that. But that one will be at home. But Drake Maye has been very impressive thus far this season. Listen, I know you love the NFL draft as much as I do, and you're going to want a nice hefty watch list of players during this college football season. Well, go ahead, check out my draft guide. You can purchase it for only $30 by Venmoing or PayPaling me. Links in the description. It's a one-time payment and you get it for this whole draft cycle and forever and always. Technically, it's a Google spreadsheet. So send me your email when you send the payment. I'll get you hooked up. You will see my current prospect rankings and big board, my full evals. And guess what? It updates throughout the whole draft cycle. So it's a great purchase and it's a great way to support the channel. Okay, pick 5 is the Chicago Bears, and they're going, oh, Latu. So I was thinking maybe Jared Verse. Feel like he might be more of a fit in Eberflus's scheme, but Latu, man, as long as the medicals check out well with his neck, he's been great this season. One of the best finesse pass rushers in this class. I feel like he could be better against the run. Like to see a better anchor as a run defender, but something he can work on. He's got the size, he's got the frame to do it, so I guess I'm not too worried about that. Pick 6, New York Giants go JJ McCarthy. So I actually just released my quarterback rankings a few days ago. If you want to go check out my updated quarterback rankings, and I had JJ McCarthy as quarterback 7. I think he's fine. He had one hiccup this year at Bowling Green, but to be fair, their Big Ten slate hasn't been like crazy to start the year. Nebraska, Minnesota honestly might have been the toughest test. They get Indiana, who's honestly not terrible defensively, but I want to see him perform in those big games. We're talking Penn State, Ohio State. I want to see him against some real talent, but he's running the offense real effectively. I'm not here when I'm just not there with him as a top 10 or right now even top 20 prospect in this class. Pick 7 is the Arizona Cardinals. They take Chop Robinson. Okay. I would think you'd go pull the trigger at corner, but I feel like everyone else is lower on this corner class right now than I am, or at least at the top. I find that very interesting, but you get one uber athletic pass rusher, just probably like the most explosive and twitchiest guy in this class, man. I'm a big fan of Chop Robinson. He's really started to emerge last few weeks. And Cardinals really don't have a consistent pass rush on the outside. Pick 8, we got the Green Bay Packers. They're going Joe Alt. I like the Joe Alt pick. I think he's a good fit for the Packers. They need to figure out what's going on at left tackle. I don't think Rashad Walker. Yeah, I think it's Walker, Penn State tackle. I don't think he's an answer, at least right now, because he was more of a developmental guy for the squad anyway. David Bakhtiari, obviously the injuries have kind of like in the age, just doesn't feel like he will be with the Packers next season. So Joe Alt would be a really good pick here for the Packers. But hey, I want to give a quick shout out to Underdog of Fantasy. Thank you for being a sponsor of the video. When you sign up at Underdog Fantasy using promo code Broshmo, they will match that first deposit up to $100 news. That means if you had deposit 5, you're gonna get 10 to play with, as long as you use promo code Broshmo. So yeah, really cool. They got all kinds of fun things going on. I love the player prop bets, higher or lower on certain stats. Or you could do weekly best ball. They got a bunch of leagues and tournaments there. But as always, please bet responsibly. Let's get to pick 9, as it's the Radas. They go Kool-Aid McKinstry. Get some help in the secondary. I don't mind it. I think the defense is still kind of in a rebuild phase. Kool-Aid McKinstry is probably the top guy on the board for me anyway. So pairing him up with like Nate Hobbs. They got Jacorian Bennett. They've seen good things from Tyler Hall. So that's actually not a bad cornerback room moving forward. So I actually kind of like that. I'm kind of all for this. Obviously, if you're the Raiders, you kind of want a quarterback, but do you really want to take quarterback 4 here in the top 10? Arizona Cardinals are going Malik Neighbors. Goodness gracious, dude. Weapon. Like, Cardinals going with a receiver, I think it's interesting. It's kind of wild. I guess the pick could, like, you could have made the case like, oh man, should have got Kool-Aid McKinstry earlier. You get snagged from you just one pick in front of you. But Malik Neighbors, he is different from what they currently have at receiver. Someone who can create after the catch. He can work inside or in the slot or on the outside. They have Michael Wilson there that can play outside. They got Hollywood, who is just this vertical speedster. Like, I mean, Rondale, they're starting to use a bit in the backfield, which I really like. So it's a ton of weapons, man. You start to really dig that offense. So I'm not against this, actually. At first, I was like, but you know what? Now that I look at it, I'm kind of like, ooh. The Jets are going to go with J.C. Latham. I do think left tackle probably needs to be addressed. As, like, they could re-sign Mekhi Becton, but, I mean, I don't know, man. His Jets tenure has been so up and then down, and now it's back to up. I don't know if they retain him. Elijah Vera Tucker, they can play. They could probably play out at right tackle if they want to. He's actually not too bad at that. Latham, I just don't know if he's a guy you can plug and play. I don't know. It's kind of fascinating. I will be honest. I feel like JC Latham. You know, they call him a pro-ready blocker. I really do feel like that he needs more polish, but it's just the traits are oozing when it comes to JC Latham. I mean, this is pick 11 too, so I guess it's not bad. I mean, I think he's inside my top 20, right? 24, so minor reach. I wouldn't worry too much about it for me. I say, again, this is a reach in my opinion. Obviously for Chris Trapasso, he's much higher on him than I am. The Commanders go with Patrick Paul. I could guarantee I feel like the general draft community is much higher on Patrick Paul than I am. I mean, the dude does have experience. He's got great length, and I just think he kind of needs to work on the technique a little bit. I mean, Washington would be pairing him up with his brother. I think they still have Chris Paul there, which is kind of funny. But tackle is kind of dude, Brock Bowers is still on the board. Like, Logan Thomas has been great here, right? But, like, you know, he's got the injury concerns and whatnot. He's up there in years. Brock Bowers, I think, would be a weapon that Eric Bieniemy would be like, get in this guy. So I kind of reel back. I'm going to reel back on, like, oh, yeah, tackle. But, I mean, Brock Bowers is on the board. Win in Rome. At 13, the Titans take Emeka Ibuka. So he's very different than what they currently have at receiver. Just a very, very sharp route runner who is actually a really good run blocker because he comes from Ohio State. They're so well coached there. But, I mean, with Treylon, you can keep Treylon Burks on the outside. I think you could. These guys are interchangeable on the inside and the outside. But honestly, I think if you get Ibuka, like, Burks kicks into the slot. That's not true, man. He's found some success last year, and he's been hurt this year. So it's kind of a tough call with Treylon Burks. But yeah, you would love a little more firepower there from the receiver position. You're the Titans. Who's pick 14? It's the Bengals. They go Brock Bowers. Brock Bowers just falls. This be a fun pick. If he's here at 14, then snag him. Do it. Like, because we've already seen 4 tackles go off the board. So if you're the Bengals, just get a difference maker at the tight end position. Something they haven't had in quite some time. They've just kind of been getting by on guys like CJ Uzomah. You have Irv Smith Jr. this year. Last year was Hayden Hurst. So, yeah, I like it. Los Angeles Rams go with Jazon Newton. That's a fun pick, you know. Thinking the pass rusher still on the board. Like, there's like Dallas Turner, Jared Verse. But Jazon Newton's up there, dude. He is. He is a very well put together in terms of what he can do. Like, he's a great penetrator, plays with his hair on fire, but he's also very disciplined and a very good run stuffer. So adding that to the defensive line to help aid Aaron Donald and friends, I think is nice. I do think they need to add more edge talent though. Los Angeles Chargers take, T'Vondre Sweat. This is the highest I've seen. I mean, yeah, you get you're going to get a big body in there to stop the run. That's a big body. Feels like he's kind of put everything together this year. Sweat. I mean, he's going to cause some pileups. I don't think he's necessarily the greatest pass rusher in the world, but I think he's more than enough. For me, this feels high for Sweat. It's all right, I guess. I mean, Chargers defense needs help. They need a new coach. They need a better defensive mind in there, apparently. All right, pick 17. Houston Texans take Graham Barton. And they're listing him as tackle. Barton might be a guard at the next level. Literally. First couple of words. Might be a guard at the next level. I mean, the Texans could use guard help. They could use offensive line help. For me, Barton's not it's not like he's far down my board. He's in my 30s, but I don't know. I think I actually just moved him to my interior list as well. I mean, if you're the Texans, what else can you do here? Edge talent? Jared Verse? Dude, that would be sexy. All right, we got New Orleans Saints. They take Cameron Kitchens. Jordan Howden had a really good game. I know it was against New England, but stepping in for the suspended Marcus Maye. And I mean, I get it. Kitchens, way more highly sought out prospect than you would consider a Jordan Howden, who comes in and you expect him to be just a good special teamer who has good backup potential, and then comes in and has a good game against a very just bad New England offense. See how he does against they're against the Texans this week, I believe. So see how he does there, but like the value's there for Cameron Kitchens. Honestly, New Orleans is kind of tough if you're not going to go quarterback for them. So they're kind of a tough team to draft for. We got pick 19 being the Atlanta Falcons. They go Jared Verse. This defense desperately needs someone to step up as a pass rusher. I feel like that's kind of the final piece to the puzzle. And Verse being here at 19 is ridiculous talent. So rather than going for a quarterback 4 in what you know to be a deep quarterback class as of the moment, maybe find competition for Desmond Ridder in the second or third rounds. I know a lot of people were like, well, Ridder looked good in his last game. And it's like, okay, well, let's see how he looks the rest of the season. Because he has a lot, let's just say a majority of his starts have been more negative than positive. And he's a third round pick, so there's little investment there. But the value's just there with Verse. The Colts, they take Jordan Morgan. I love the Jordan Morgan love, but is this for left tackle? Are they crapping on my boy? Bernhard Ryman's been hurt. He's been good when in the lineup, but he's been hurt. Calm down. Golly. I mean, I guess you could move Ryman to guard because Will Fries is kind of hoopy. I do like Morgan a ton, though. Morgan's also a guy with guard potential just because I'm kind of curious what his length will come out to be. Not to say you have to have 33-inch arms. Like, we've seen guys make it with sub 33-inch arms and play at a high level. Rashawn Slater, Penny Sewell, to name a couple. So it's not the end-all, be-all. It's just something you consider. At 21, we got Cooper DeJean. Ooh, interesting. But DeJean, I mean, both of those have been playing more press. And I know, okay, I get it. They play a lot of quarters, but playing a lot of press, I don't know if that's going to be up DeJean's alley. Like, I love him as an athlete, but I don't know. I don't know if that'll be quite up his alley in terms of what he does best. But DeJean's a really good talent. Well worth the top 20 pick. We got I thought we had the Saints again. I just saw the little point. Kalen Keene going to Dallas. Corner kind of makes sense. Trevon Diggs, he will return from injury next season. But Stephon Gilmore is old. Still playing well, but he is old, so eventually you do want to find a replacement. Deron Bland has played pretty well on the outside, but I mean, at the very least, like, even if you get Kane, I mean, Bland could kick back into the slot and still be really good. But he's actually, I've been impressed with how Bland has played on the outside, going back and looking at a couple of his games since the Diggs injury. At 23, we got Rome Odunze. So they are not done yet at receiver. So this is a big-bodied vertical threat who is one heck of an athlete. You're going to pair him up with Zay Flowers. They still got Bateman there. They won't have OBJ. Oh, man, to be fair, like, OBJ, that's kind of what they wanted him to be, you know, that vertical baller downfield. So instead of, you know, giving him more money, grab Odunze. Honestly, I kind of like that pick. Kind of like it. And now the Ravens will have 3 first-rounders at wide receiver. The Seahawks, they're going to be going with Chris Abrams-Drain. Getting love, dude. This cat is great. It's just his size sucks. So a lot of people might look at him as a slot player, which is fine. I mean, it's a starting position in the NFL, but he's someone who has been playing on the outside and been playing at a high level since last season. And he's a former receiver, and he's got legit ball skills. Let's see. Abrams-Drain has been on the draft radar for a while and is enjoying a productive 2023 season. He'd be fun, versatile piece for Pete Carroll to deploy in 2023 and beyond. I don't disagree with that, because like, I think he comes into that room and he's probably the slot. So you got Chris Abrams-Drain in the slot. You got Von Witherspoon and Rick Woolen on the outside there. So I like it. Pittsburgh Steelers, they go Barrett Carter straight up. I don't think there's a first round linebacker in this class as of yet. The defense has carried Pittsburgh early in 2023, but the Steelers continue to build that side of the ball when they see Carter fall into their laps here. He ain't falling. He ain't falling into their laps like this is a value play. I'm telling y'all, like, Carter's a great athlete, but he still got, I feel like, got to put together the finer points of the linebacker position together. And from what we've seen, linebacker, when you get to the NFL, is a tricky position to get right. Like, sometimes those guys don't get it right until their second contract is the thing. So, yeah, I don't love this pick for the Steelers. I don't love it. All right, we got Jacksonville. Leonard Taylor. Do like the upside of Leonard Taylor. He hasn't been used a ton as a run stuffer, but he has like the highest pass rush win rate of all interior players this season. I think that was also the case last year as well. So the dude is a penetrator. He does get after the quarterback. Big fan of his, man. At 6'3", 305. Dude moves like a linebacker. I don't know what the flip there was. We got pick 27, Johnny Wilson. I get it. You're trying to replace Mike Evans. Johnny Wilson just doesn't have I think the ball skills of a Mike Evans. There are some drops. I mean, he may have the catch radius of 2 garage doors, but ball skills aren't very consistent with him. So I don't like him as a first rounder right now. I see what they're doing. I see what he was trying to do. I get it. I just wouldn't do it. The Detroit Lions, they're going to take Keon Coleman. I forgot that. Well, how you take Johnny Wilson when you could have taken Keon Coleman? Jeez Louise. So Keon Coleman gives them a receiver that they don't really have quite yet here on the roster. Actually, let me do a quick. Curious to Josh Reynolds' size. Like Reynolds, Reynolds is big. I mean, he's not 215 big, but that guy, I mean, he's a guy you want involved in the rotation, and he will be. He still will be. just grabbing a receiver here doesn't mean like Josh Reynolds is done in Detroit. Like, you just end up having a nice deep package of playmakers. I think Coleman goes much higher than this, though. All right, pick 29, my Miami Dolphins. Kingsley Sumatea going to the Miami Dolphins. Another big body blocker for Mike McDaniel's offense to protect Tua Tagovailoa and pave lanes for an explosive ground game. I love the guy's athletic traits. I love his physical traits. Big fan of him. Terran Armstead, I don't know if we could be a cap casualty after the year. I don't know if that's reasonable with this contract. I haven't looked into it. So maybe looking for that left tackle. Don't y'all tell me Kendall Lamb. Don't y'all tell me. He has been a pleasant surprise, but he could be a very good backup for us. Let's look for maybe let's shoot higher. Let's shoot higher. Philadelphia Eagles at 30 are going to take Nate Wiggins. This is just good value. Very athletic player there. I know he doesn't fit the Georgia-Alabama mold that sneaking the Eagles kind of got going on, especially in the first round. No Georgia. But Wiggins, very talented, and he's playing like it this season. The Chiefs, they're going to go ahead and take Xavier Worthy, so you're just kind of hoping to get a replacement for not a replacement. You're trying to find speed comparable to Tyreek Hill. I mean, good luck for that chance, but Xavier Worthy's probably your best shot at it. And then with the final pick, this is the Niners. They're going to go with Cameron Lassiter. This is who I thought the Eagles probably would take because he's a Georgia Bulldog, but he's had a really solid season as well. I mean, I'm a big fan of Travarius Ward. I think he's one of the more underappreciated corners in the NFL. I think he's very underrated. Currently, it's Diamador Lenoir playing opposite of him correct? I believe so. I want to confirm that real quick. Yes. Majority of the time it has. Okay, Lenoir's been fine. Yeah, he hasn't been that bad. I mean, I guess grabbing competition is never a bad thing. Lassiter kind of fits a scheme there. Who's been in the slot majority of the time? Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about Isaiah Oliver. Low key. Not bad this season. To be fair, that Niners defense is kind of really good. I'm sure you would probably want an offensive lineman here, and Armarius Mims would be the first guy that comes to mind because he's still on the board. Obviously, Trapasso is either not high on him or felt he could include him because of the injury or just really hasn't looked into him. So I'm assuming tackle wasn't really on the radar for Trapasso at this pick. So Lassiter works out. Grabbing competition for cornerback too, not a bad idea. Never a bad thought either, but that's it for the video. Let me know what you think in the comment section below, where we have that nice, beautiful football discourse. And as always, until next time, you be easy, my friends. Later.